Looks like Eric has kept. Looks like Francesco is keeping as well. I think I heard confirmation on that. All right, Scalding Tarn pass.
I'm scared.
I will get a Saga.
Yep.
Seat of the Synod for Francesco. Urz's Bauble. Emery.
Okay.
Emery will resolve. Into the graveyard, Urz's Bauble. Force of Will, Urz's Bauble, and Thoughtcast.
Go.
Passing the turn.
End of your turn. Off that.
Okay. Adjusting the wrong life total on the phone, but it'll probably get corrected. Underground Sea for Eric.
You're still at 20, right?
Yes, sorry. Let's see everything. I'm at 20, yes.
I'm gonna cast Consider.
Consider on end step for Eric.
Okay, makes sense.
I will draw that.
Okay.
Tap.
Leaves it on top, draws a card.
I will.
Flooded Stream.
Flooded Strand. Looks like an activation of Bauble happening.
This one. Okay.
All right, there's Force of Will revealed.
Draw for the bubble. Draw for turn.
Yep.
All right, drawing 2 cards is Francesco then. Start the turn.
Color will be black. I think black is better, but it's not.
Yeah, that's
Double Mishra's Bauble. Casting an Urza's Bauble from the graveyard. Urza's Saga is now on the board. Tapping Urza's Saga from mana, either Spellbomb. Either Spellbomb could potentially bounce Thassa's Oracle. If there are cards left in the library, that could matter if it's the only creature on the board. Brainstorm on end step for Eric, it looks like.
Get out of here.
Putting these 2 back. This is the draw off of it.
Okay.
Well, I guess I don't need to do that. I can put whatever I want back, right?
Yep. Correct.
Still putting those back. Shuffle it.
All right, and a fetch. Shuffling those away, getting another Underground Sea.
Chat. Draw.
I will.
Play Ponder.
Ponder here for Eric.
3,
Plays an island.
How many cards do you have in hand?
Three. Three.
Play Dark
Take
Ritual.
one.
Play Doomsday.
And got a.
All right, thumbs up for it all from Francesco. Doomsday is resolving. So we'll see. We'll see Eric build a pile here. Looks like Force of Will and maybe Thassa's Oracle are in hand. Yeah, their spell bomb is a little bit of disruption. See Eric thumbing through the deck, pulling out Edge of Autumn.
So, floating mana and the white mana. That's
Pulling out Thassa's Oracle.
Yep.
And I will pass the turn.
I mean, I don't have the mana for like how they fun board.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, I can't have it. Okay. That's why I was also trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see most people are on two. Did you
So
see
you're
one
like
or am I,
nine.
like crazy?
I'm at 9.
All right, Doomsday causes you to lose half your life. Looks like Eric just trying to figure out the best order for this pile now. There is a Thassa's Oracle in there and an Edge of Autumn.
I will.
Maybe a Street Wraith as well.
You're welcome to look through. Pass the turn.
So
All right, so just passing the turn. And the graveyard now in the center of the table.
if I bounce, it triggers in any case.
It does. But what bouncing does is it reduces my devotion to blue to less than 2. So if I still have cards left in my library, bouncing it means that
You should play blood sorts of
Okay, no,
All right, Francesco trying to make sure how Thassa's Oracle's ability works. Eric explaining correctly, if you have devotion less than the amount of cards in your library, you will not win the game. So if you bounce Thassa's Oracle and there are still cards in the library, that works. If there are no cards in the library, devotion is 0, cards in the library is 0, Eric would still win the game. All right, Mishra's Bauble activated. Revealed a card on top of Eric's library.
draw for turn.
Yep.
So this one.
Sure. You also got a trigger on your.
Yep.
Saga is up to 2. A Mox Opal just hit the battlefield. Emery getting activated. Mishra's Bauble.
And I have, I think,
If the plan is to either Spellbomb, bounce Thassa's Oracle, I don't think that's good enough. Okay, here's Thought Monitor, drawing 2 cards. I don't think that's good enough for Francesco to rely on. It's pretty easy for Eric to completely empty out the library with cyclers and cards like Ideas Unbound, let's say, and all right, sacking a Lotus Petal. Casting a Thought Cast now is Francesco, drawing 2 cards. Unfortunately, some of the board is getting blocked by me here. I'll continue phasing myself in and out. Drew four cards off Thought Monitor and Thoughtcast. Still trying to figure out what to do.
Then
Eric with just a Doomsday pile left. All right, so activating Baubles. Looks like all three were sacrificed at once. All right, revealed Force of Will, which we already knew about. And revealed the top card of the library, which we also knew about. Or at least Francesco did. Passing the turn now. Looks like 3 draw triggers happen for Francesco, who now has probably a lot of cards in hand. All right, here's a cycled Street Wraith. Bring Eric down to 7. Cavern of Souls, that's pretty good.
It's a weird one, but
Got this for blue.
it's one of the most anemic.
Cycle Edge of Autumn.
Cycling Edge of Autumn, floating a blue. Cycling Edge of Autumn, floating a blue.
Cycle Street Wraith.
Yeah. I've got someone later that
45.
Cycle Street Wraith now. Draws the last card in the library. Cavern of Souls should win it here.
Passes Oracle. Trigger.
I'm dead. Can I do anything? If I bounce, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Because you have
What
0.
about the
Correct.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what I do.
All right, so what are the best sideboard cards against Doomsday for 8 cast? All right, Seed of the Synod, Urza's Bauble, Lotus Petal, sacrificing it, Chalice on 1. That's a good one. Yeah, Flusterstorm's quite good.
Yeah.
Force of Will, pitching Personal Tutor to try to stop the Chalice. Thran Foundry, yeah. Force of Will,
Can't do anything else.
pitching Thought Monitor, and the Chalice will resolve.
Island. Cycle Street Wraith. Go to 17. Draw.
Cycle Street Wraith for Eric.
This is fun, even if it's not gonna do anything.
Pass you.
Needs a way to beat Chalice.
The first one.
Alright, Force of Will revealed again by Urza's Bauble.
Bounce it.
And then draw for a card.
Cast it. We'll trigger this. And then the card, I guess, before you draw. Nope. Alright.
Alright, Emery's back once again. Urza's Saga on the board now for Francesco. Metallic Rebuke, Kappa Cannoneer, Mishra's Bauble, and Force of Will milled into the graveyard.
Well, I was lucky I drew so many specialists because I got the forest, but I forgot that I could snuff out. I could have snuffed out land.
Eric could win through a Chalice on 1, but it's going to be really difficult.
Yeah. I don't think you ever stabilized. You just killed me.
Cycle Street Wraith.
You didn't.
Okay.
Could left
Go to
it
15.
at some point.
Draw.
Yeah,
Alright, a cycled Street Wraith, and Eric is actually at 15 now.
One card.
then I have protection for return. For price.
Just took a step out of the way.
Yeah.
Draw.
Passing the turn to Francesco. Draws for turn. Saga will tick up.
So once show and tell
Or
the choice
Cloud.
like what each whatever one chooses.
Oh,
so you
imagine.
Activating Emery. Mishra's Bauble gets cast. Now it's activated.
A nice massacre.
Didn't get to see the top card, but it was a dark ritual, it looks like. All right, Eric scoops it up. Doesn't think they can beat the Chalice on 1. Going to game 3.
Yeah, but my English teacher told me that, I mean, when I look at the words, there are certain, if I need to guess, there are certain sounds that are for sure wrong. Because I have, so like, so I have the list of the sounds that I should be able to pick, and sometimes I do mistakes.
Okay.
All right, Eric keeping 7. Turn 1 ponder. Gift leader number 3, Dave Kaplan, is here. What's up, Dave? There's our coffee link.
Lucky you, you're so clever. Wait, hold on. What's that good meaning?
Go ahead.
Draw?
Yeah.
Seat of the Synod, Lotus Petal, sacking Lotus Petal. Chalice on 1 once again. Let's see if Eric has a way to stop it this time.
Sure.
It resolves.
Yeah.
Play Lotus Petal?
Yep.
Play Cabal Ritual?
How many mana would you like?
Cabal Ritual on the stack. Would only make 3 mana. New donation from Dave Kaplan. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave. Really appreciate that. And thank you, Coffee Stream Bot. Thanks, Dave. All right, forcing negation on Doomsday, and Eric is forcing back, pitching force of negation. So Eric prioritizing protecting Doomsday over Chalice, and here's force of will, pitching an Emery to stop Doomsday once and for all. So a brief counter battle, but Francesco wins it. And with the Chalice on 1, this will be hard for Eric to rebuild.
That is much more.
Doomsday with Force of Will backup is pretty good. Otawara, Urza's Saga. And Francesco is going to start pumping out some constructs, and this could get ugly in a hurry.
Yeah. Always forget.
Which is fine. I mean, sometimes you can.
There's Mox Opal.
Freeze will be very happy.
Yeah, so.
You have the tokens.
Yeah, perfect.
Easy. Construct, right? Construct, yes. So, 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, so creating a construct on end step.
Thank you.
That's going to check out.
Yeah. But can I do something in response, right?
You can. The search trigger is about to go on the stack.
Yeah. So. So.
Urza's Saga ticking up. Francesco trying to figure out what to do with it. Looks like it's floating a mana.
By the way, just so you know, you're supposed to. Yeah. This is your trigger, not mine. Just so you know. If you play competitively, there's going to be the.
Shadow Spear. That's a good one. Shadow Spear can potentially equip to the construct here and attack.
And then I'd be running.
And this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That was like an insane
Mill?
All right, attacking for 6 with the construct.
Holding with that game. So that I thought like, they're going to replace it. Or not replace, just move it back. I was like repainting. I was like, wait a second, I have 61.
I'm going to pay another there. That's what
It's crazy.
So it's after you present it for
Take 6.
payment.
Go to 7.
MTG player says, I went to the link Dave posted, and your video posts a Force of Fill with miracles. There's a picture, Neon Dynasty Island, but with different art. I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Yeah.
Great additions like Lion Section, March of Otherworld.
Okay, I thought cast just resolved for Francesco, who now plays a Mox Opal. Mishra's Bobble. I'm going to Bobble Eric. We can't see it, but Francesco can. Consider. Chalice counters it. Paradigm Shift versus Miracles video, but I'm not sure which island you're talking about. Alright, Eric reveals the hand, and Francesco gets there. Good games. Alright. There's round one.